Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all Pennsylvania students, sponsored by the Pennsylvania Association for College Admissions Counseling and StriveScan. Thanks so much for joining us. Just a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions that are happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at pacac.org/virtual. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, which is pacac.org/virtual. So now, without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to our presenter, Ashley from Triangle Tech. Enjoy your session.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you guys for joining me this evening. My name's Ashley Kessler. I'm the Associate Director of Business Development with Triangle Tech. Just a little background about me. I've actually been working for Triangle Tech. It's going to be 10 years now in December. So I'm very proud to work for this organization. And again, I'm glad that you've decided to take some time out of your evening to listen to a little bit about our school, our programs, and our services. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. So what I'm going to do during my presentation, hopefully you guys can see this okay. Let's get this started here. I'm going to start off by telling you guys just a little bit about career schools, trade schools, how we might differ from some other post-secondary organizations that you might be familiar with. And then we're going to get a lot more in depth with Triangle Tech's programs and services. So as you have questions, please feel free to ask them. I'll try to keep my eye on the Q&A, though I may wait till the end of my presentation to get to your questions and your answers. So don't panic if you do have a question, and if I'm not responding right away, I will get to them. Also, throughout this presentation right now, you see a QR code at the bottom of my screen, as well as a link. If at any point you're just wondering, hey, is career education the right fit for me? Maybe you're interested in even getting some more information on Triangle Tech. If you have a phone available, you can hover it over that QR code. I've also been told if you have Snapchat, that'll take you directly to a survey. I don't do Snapchat myself, so I don't know anything about that. But if your phone is handy, you can hover it over the QR code, or you can go to that link. And this is going to appear a couple times throughout this presentation, so don't feel like you need to go there right away. You're probably thinking, well, let me hear what you have to say first. So let's get into it. So what a career school, a technical school is, which Triangle Tech, we are a post-secondary trade school. We are post-secondary option, so we are talking for after high school graduation. Occupationally oriented educational institutions that are offering entry-level skills and training focused on specific careers. And in Pennsylvania alone, there's more than 200 career schools, technical schools, trade schools. You've probably heard a combination of these terms throughout the state. And it really depends on what your interests are. So there are schools out there that just do cosmetology programs or culinary, business, art. But what we focus on at Triangle Tech is more of the skilled trades. So what are the benefits? Why is this something that you should be thinking of attending? Well, first, the benefit of attending a career school is you're getting training in fields with critical shortages. Typically, there's going to be a lot of hands-on learning, and you can graduate and enter the job market in 2 years or less, which gives you a good return on investment. Now, return on investment, you might not be 100% sure what this particular phrase means. So in general terms, an investment and your return on it, how much you've gained, how much you've lost based off what you initially put in. So when we're talking your education, the goal is to try to put you ahead of what you paid to go to school. So speaking of training in fields with critical shortages, there is high job demand. So quick question for you guys here. In 2020, how many skilled trade positions are estimated to be left vacant due to baby boomer retirement? And if you guys want to answer in the Q&A, see if anybody has a guess here. All right, so it is 31 million. So, I mean, that is a really high number of job vacancies left due to baby boomer retirement just this year alone. According to Mike Rowe, hopefully you guys are familiar with who Mike Rowe is. If you're not, he hosted Dirty Jobs. It's usually how a lot of people know him. Really big advocate of going into trades and technical education. So according to him, there are 7 million jobs right now that are open, and the vast majority don't require a 4-year degree. So there's a ton of opportunity that people aren't talking about. And as a result, the skills gap has gotten wider. And a big part of that is the baby boomer retirement. You know, the skilled trades, a lot of people have retired. A lot of people are getting ready to retire. You just saw 31 million jobs left vacant due to baby boomer retirement. Over the years, there hasn't really been that younger generation getting in, getting the skills needed to replace those workers as they're leaving the workforce, which is really opening up a lot of job opportunities. And not only are the skilled trades high in demand right now, they're also essential. COVID-19, I think, has changed a lot of people's conversations with where they might want to go to school and what they might want to get into with a career. People want to make sure they're getting into a field that has good job security. And the skilled trades have proven to be more stable than many other professions, as proven by the fact that many of these duties and jobs were deemed essential during COVID-19 lockdowns. So with Triangle Tech, we actually have 6 campuses throughout the state of Pennsylvania. And over these last 6 months, there have been over 1,300 full-time job openings available for our graduates. So the trades are still hiring, and it is an excellent time to get into these high demand careers. So what can you do right now? You're in high school. How can you prepare yourself for that next step? Well, depending on what age you are, if you're a senior, your schedules, you might have already have all your classes set for the year, but any electives are going to be beneficial. Anything in a STEM curriculum, a tech ed or an industrial arts course. If you have the option to maybe go to your local CTC, ABTS, career center, you get into one of those programs, it's a really good way to get some additional hands-on experience. Math is going to be extremely important in the skilled trades, so make sure you're keeping up with those courses. Go out and observe jobs. Maybe you're kind of saying, well, yeah, I'm interested in some of this stuff, but I never signed up for the welding program at my CTE. Is it too late? Absolutely not. But if you do have an opportunity, see if you can job shadow. See if you can even have an internship or something, or get some part-time work experience. Start to get a good idea as to what the job site's going to be like for you, and make sure it's the right fit for you as far as a career goes. Now, once you do your career research, it's time to start looking at your post-secondary options. And the best thing to do right now is to tour a school. Now, Triangle Tech, we are offering tours. They can be done either virtually or in person, depending on what you're comfortable with. But we really want to make sure that we're connecting you with somebody so you can have a one-on-one conversation with them, to make sure you know what you're getting into. You can take a deeper dive into your program of interest. You can ask your admissions representatives things like, hey, how many students are finishing this program? How many of them are getting placed in jobs? If you are able to get into the school, you can look at some of the equipment, see about setting up a financial aid, which I'll talk about more towards the end of the presentation, some of the options as well. But you really want to connect with somebody one-on-one. Don't just necessarily go to a website, fill an application. You want to make sure the school's the right fit for you. Now, after you tour school, if you like what you see, it's time to apply. So first, you want to figure out when you want to start. Most schools, you have 2 options. You can start in the fall, you can start in the spring. Triangle Tech actually has 3 options. So it's just a little extra variety depending on when you're ready to make your decision. So when you graduate from high school, your first option to start with us is going to be in June. We have another semester starting in October. We're actually getting ready to start our classes next week for our new October start. And then we have a start in February. And we start those 3 times every year. So you might not be ready in June, but maybe October you'll feel a little more comfortable with a decision. Or maybe it'll be till February. Plenty of time to get enrolled. Now, for admissions requirements, you do have to have your high school diploma or a GED. We don't require SAT or ACT scores. I know that's a really big conversation right now too, and we don't need SAT or ACT scores for admissions to Triangle Tech. Now, what you can expect as a student at our school is smaller class sizes. We like to keep our classes to 25 students or less, so it's a really nice student-teacher ratio. You're not going to get lost in the shuffle. The majority of your classes will be in your chosen fields with a lot of hands-on training and theory. When I start to talk about our curriculum a little bit, I have always seen a lot of students' eyes light up when I talk about pretty much from day one, you're jumping in to your field of study. You're not really taking a lot of gen eds with our courses, so you don't have to read Shakespeare. You don't have to memorize dates of all these wars in history. You're not gonna have to take a foreign language or a pottery class. If those are topics and subjects you enjoy in your free time, by all means, you can take as many classes as you want on the side, watch documentaries. But for our curriculum, we really want to make sure that our students are getting the training needed to be workforce ready. And attendance is extremely important. Our class days run Monday through Friday, 8 to 2:30. So it's very similar to probably what you're experiencing as a high school student. So it shouldn't be that difficult of a transition. But we do take attendance. Like I said, you're in a smaller class, so you're not going to get lost in the shuffle. You're not in a lecture hall with 300 other students. So when you're not there, it's documented. Why is this important? Even if you're showing up, 5 minutes late, it's going to show up. They showed up at 8:05. Well, for starters, if you're not in class, you're losing out on all that hands-on training and curriculum that's going to make you workforce ready. But from an employer standpoint, we'll put your graduate or your attendance on your transcript. And when I'll talk about our career services at the end of this presentation, when companies work with our career advisors, when they're calling us up, when they're looking for employees, usually one of the first things they will ask is who has the best attendance. It's not who's the most skilled, who has the best grades, who's showing up to class. Because if you show up to class, you're going to show up to work. So do yourself a favor, just show up to class, be present, take notes. It's really going to put you ahead. Now, when you graduate, sometimes it might depend on what you're awarded based off where you might decide to go. So some places you might get a diploma or a certificate. You could get an associate's degree. And what we award our graduates at Triangle Tech, it's called an associate's in specialized technology degree. So I do have a short video I'm going to play from some of our graduates of all of our programs, just talking about why they thought it was beneficial to go on for extra education after.
Welding is a career path, leaves a lot of open doors and a lot of future options for you. You could always choose the metallurgical end of it, or you could always choose the inspection side of it, or you could stick with just being a welder for your entire career. It opens a lot of doors for you, and you could decide as you progress through your career which doors you'd like to pursue.
You know you're always going to need a welder. It's a job that'll never go anywhere. It's always going to be needed. You can make a lot of money in it. You can go all over the world if you want to. My experience at Triangle Tech was awesome. All the teachers there, they're amazing. They all know exactly what they're doing. They know what to give you, how to help you. If you need help, they'll stay after, help you. I went right from Triangle Tech, and it was within a week I started working at Forum Energy Technologies. It was just an awesome experience there. I couldn't ask for a better school.
I was interested in the electrical program at Triangle Tech because a few friends of mine I graduated high school with had told me about the program, and they said that they liked it, and also let me work while I went to school because it was a pretty close drive to my hometown. The hands-on education at Triangle Tech helped me because I'm more of a hands-on learner. I'm more so than a book learner, I guess. It was important for me to get a degree from Triangle Tech because nowadays a lot of employers are looking for a degree, looking for previous education. I feel like that was a big help.
I chose Triangle Tech because they get right down to the nitty-gritty of what you need to learn to do your job, and it was a very cost-effective way of going to school.
I can't picture myself sitting behind a desk, so I went to get my degree in Carpentry and Construction, and then they helped me get a job after Triangle Tech here at Dartmouth.
I always loved building things with my hands. It just came natural to me. I don't like sitting in offices. I don't like doing that stuff. So when me and my dad finally found Triangle Tech, it was a perfect match for us.
My education from Triangle Tech helped open up doors that I would not have been able to without the degree.
I have a degree in a specific field because Triangle Tech helped me get that degree.
I wanted to find a school that didn't just teach me how to swap out a part. I wanted a school that could teach me, why did this part fail? What went wrong here? How do we prevent this?
I graduated in October, and I almost instantly got a job.
About a month from graduation, I got a call from the career advisor because he found an opening at CMI Energy, And so the next week I went there, and the week after that I had a job offer.
My goal for my career is to find myself in my own business making pediatric prosthetics.
Okay, so a little bit more about our programs in Triangle Tech as a school. We've been around since 1944, so a very long-standing school and relationship in the communities that we're in. We actually do have 6 locations throughout the state of Pennsylvania. We're located in Pittsburgh in the north side. We also have schools in Greensburg, DuBois, Sunbury, Bethlehem, and then we just opened up our newest location in Chambersburg in October of 2019. So we're still growing and expanding as a school, which should give you assurance that we are dedicated to our student success. And if you're unsure which location might be the closest to you, again, in the question and answer, let me know, the county you live in, and I can let you know which campus is going to be the closest to you. Now, we are an accredited school. We're accredited by the Accrediting Commission of Career Schools and Colleges. And over the years, we've also been listed as a school of excellence, a school of distinction, and as well as we were listed on Forbes magazine's first ever top 30 trade schools in the country. So we're very proud to have these awards and recognitions behind our name. We do have 5 different programs. We have a CAD with additive manufacturing and 3D printing, maintenance, electricity, and construction, carpentry and construction, refrigeration, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and welding. So I'm going to tell you very briefly about each of these programs. I'm not going to go too in depth with anything, but I will let you know as well that not every single one of our programs is available at every campus. So again, if you're curious, hey, where's the carpentry program, or where can I find the welding program? Let me, again, question and answer, feel free to ask, and I will certainly answer and let you know where you can find certain programs. So starting off with our carpentry and construction program, the focus in this is residential with some light commercial. Our students are building a house from the ground up, starting from the concrete forms and placement. They do stair design, they do window installation, they do roofing, they do interior trims, there's masonry work, they do related trades, so some light electric, light plumbing, the bathroom remodeling, kitchen remodeling. We have a cabinet shop. So it's a really well-rounded program. You're going to hear me say that multiple times. And also, this is a program where if you're somebody interested in having your own business, you're going to get the knowledge to do so. Welding and fabrication, we focus on 4 main processes. We do MIG, TIG, stick, and flux core, and we're doing that on both pipe and plate. And one of the great features with our welding program is on top of the associate's degree that our students earn, they're also testing for 3 certifications. So they'll test for their American Welding Society D11 certification for structural steel. And then we have 2 pipe certifications as well, the ASME and the API, the American Petroleum Institute. So if you are interested in welding, certifications are crucial in order to get those good jobs. So the fact that our students are graduating with both that associate's degree and potentially 3 certifications makes them extremely marketable in the workforce. Refrigeration, heating, ventilation, air conditioning. So we start off in residential in this program. I think sometimes when people hear HVAC technician, they're like, yeah, that's a person when the heat goes out in the winter, or if it's summertime and the AC stops working, that's who you're calling to come out. Yeah, that's a big part of it. You're learning that. Then you get into the commercial side of things. So think about your grocery stores, your restaurants, your convenience stores, Sheetz or Wawa if you're on the eastern side of the state, all those coolers, the ice machines, your restaurants, so you transport refrigeration, you're learning all of that. Then we're getting into industrial with digital controls. So again, you're learning 3 different aspects of the field. And again, this is another program where if you're somebody interested in having your own business, you're going to have the knowledge to do that. CAD with additive manufacturing and 3D printing. CAD is computer aided drafting and design, if you're not sure what that acronym stands for, and we're talking about blueprint design. So we have both architectural and mechanical in this program. You're learning 2D and 3D. We use a couple different software packages. We use AutoCAD, Revit, and Inventor. And then our students are also learning the additive manufacturing and 3D printing technology. So they're really taking the future of that field and learning everything they know to do that. Maintenance electricity, again, you're starting off in residential. going into commercial, and then industrial, where our focus is really on what's called programmable logic controllers. So if you're interested in automation, that's what a PLC is, and it's really the future of this particular industry. So the great thing with all of these programs is you're learning a diverse skill set to go into a diverse career. You're not just learning one skill to do one job. You can take what you're learning in any of these programs and go into a multitude of careers. So it's really wonderful. And the nice thing too is you don't have to have any experience to start our program. We have people that they are coming in with prior experience. Maybe it's work experience, maybe it's classes that they took in high school, they went to their CTC. We have a lot of people coming in not really knowing much of anything. They've always been interested in this, or they know somebody in the field and it's something that, you know, seems like they would be interested in doing. And so if you have no experience, if you're kind of saying, yeah, I kind of like the idea of being an electrician, but I know how to turn a light switch on and off. That's about the extent of my knowledge. You're not going to be behind at all. So don't let that deter you either. If you're thinking, I don't know the first thing about anything she just said, we'll start you from the beginning, and in 16 months, you're going to be ready to go out into the workforce. So financial aid, I know this is another really big topic as well. You know, how do you go about paying for school? So financial aid, we actually have at each of our schools, we have a financial aid advisor that's going to sit down with you and your families to go through your FAFSA form. Your FAFSA, your free application for federal student aid. Some of you guys might be familiar with this already. You are going to fill this out no matter where you decide to go to school. I wish I would have had some assistance with this when I was going through the process. I found it very confusing. But what's great is you'll have a personalized appointment. They'll go through this step by step with you and your families to see what your budget is and what your out-of-pocket costs will be. So there's really going to be no surprises for you. We are a yellow ribbon school. So if you're somebody that might be considering the military and then using your GI benefits down the road, we do accept the GI Bill. We have some credit for credit articulations. So you've heard me mention CTCs a couple times throughout this presentation, and I just finished saying how you can start our programs with absolutely no experience. However, if you are somebody that's saying, okay, but I go to my CTC, I've taken electric courses for 3 years, I take some drafting classes, you know, already. So depending on what career center you go to, we do have some arrangements. So we've taken a look at some of the curriculums at local CTCs that have programs similar to ours and said, okay, here's some overlap. So as long as you get a B or higher in your courses in high school, you have credits that automatically transfer into our programs. What does that mean exactly? So they're classes that you're not going to have to take. And more importantly, they're credits you're not going to have to pay for. So if you are involved with a CTC program, it can save you money right off the bat. Now, with that being said, there's also opportunities to test out of up to 50% of our curriculum. So maybe you haven't taken any classes, but you have some work experience. Or maybe you're going to a CTC and we don't have an established articulation with it yet. Or maybe it's only for a couple of classes and you're thinking, I can probably place out of it more. Or maybe you're just saying, listen, I haven't taken any of these classes, but I'm really good in math. You can come in and try to place out of up to 50%, like I said. So it could be a math class, your algebra, intro to computers. Come in and take the final for a class. If you get a 75% or higher, you've placed out, same rules apply. You don't have to take the class and you don't have to pay for the credit. So definitely a lot of ways to assist you on the financial aid front and to try to place out of our courses as well. That test is free to take. So you're truly not going to lose anything by trying. Scholarships. I can't stress scholarships enough to you guys. I want to encourage you guys, apply for as many scholarships as you can. Anything you're able to earn in scholarship money, this is money that you're not going to have to repay. And there's so many opportunities out there for you guys to earn some scholarships. This is an area I reflect on. I wish I would have spent more time when I was in high school applying for scholarships because I didn't know much about it. I was like, yeah, I'll just take out a loan because that's what everybody does. But I mean, over the course of 10 years being with Triangle Tech, I visited schools all across the country, and I can't tell you how many times I hear about scholarships that are available going unclaimed because nobody has taken the time to apply for them. Local scholarships, start off there. Talk to your counselors, find out about local businesses or community organizations that have scholarships available. There's usually a lot. Again, sometimes it's just as simple as you have to fill out an application, maybe you have to write a brief essay. But again, if nobody, they want to give that money to somebody. So if nobody applies to it, it's just sitting there. So if you're the only one that applies, it goes to you by default. Money coming your way, $150, $200 here and there. Every little bit helps and it adds up. So start off locally. Do some research online too. There's a lot of unique scholarships out there. Fastweb.com is a wonderful website to check out. There are scholarships out there, everything from being left-handed to being tall to writing a survival plan if the zombie apocalypse happens, being the middle child. That's one I wish I knew about when I was in high school. So again, not every scholarship is always based off what sports you play or what your grades are. So explore all of those opportunities. Now, there are a lot of scholarships out there as well going into technical education. So Imagine America, MicroWorks, American Welding Society have some excellent scholarships that our financial aid advisors will help connect you with. And then we do have our own scholarships as well. We offer scholarships for our incoming June starts. So if you are interested in applying for our scholarship, you will need to have a 2.5 GPA. We ask for a very brief essay, about 250 words, which sometimes people groan when I mention that, but you've probably written longer for an English paper, and it's about why you're interested in your field. And then also 2 letters of recommendations. Now, our winners are chosen by an outside board, but our scholarship does cover 25% of tuition. So again, it's an excellent scholarship to apply for if you meet the qualifications, and you can talk to your financial aid advisor about that opportunity as well. The last main service I want to go over with you guys deals with career advising. It's all about job placement. And I mentioned earlier how the skilled trades are high in demand and they're essential, but everybody wants to make sure that they're going to be able to find a job as they graduate. And again, what's wonderful is each of our schools has a career advisor on site that's going to be able to assist each and every one of our students. So you start off, you'll take a class called Job Communications. This is more of a soft skill class. You're getting things like reading, putting together your cover letter and resume. They'll do mock interviews with each of our students to get them comfortable with that process. But then they really get to know each student. What are they interested in doing? Maybe you're an electrician and you really want to go into that industrial side. You want to work on a programmable logic controller. Maybe there's a certain company you're really interested in working for. Maybe you're coming through the welding program and you're saying, listen, I don't really care what type of job I'm doing, but I'm going to be living at the beach. Winter, cold, not for me. I want to live in the South. Your career advisor has a lot of direct connections that they can send resumes to. Companies will call us up when they're looking to hire. So they really do a lot to assist our students in finding a job. And what's really wonderful with this too, this is continual as a graduate. So this service isn't just a one-time, best of luck, keep in touch. It could be 6 months after your graduation. It could be 20 years down the road. And if you're ever looking for new employment, you can come back to us. So it's a wonderful service that we offer. Also, your career advisors throughout your time at Triangle Tech, you'll go on field trips. Speakers will come in to talk about their company. So you're really offered a variety of opportunities to explore what career path you might want to take. And you also have that assistance in finding a job. So you're not just doing it by yourself, going online, uploading your resume with how many other thousands of people. You have somebody personally assisting you. To the companies that are hiring our graduates, we do give them a 90-day guarantee as well. So we let them know that if within their first 90 days of hiring one of our graduates, if there are any issues, if any skills that aren't quite up to par, they could be sent back to us for additional training at no cost. Another nice offer as a graduate. So again, our services, it's not just while you're a student. We want to be with you for your career. We offer free refresher courses as well. So I'll use welding again, for instance. Maybe you come through the program and you start off as a MIG welder. 7 years go by and this new job opens up and now you're doing TIG welding, but you haven't really done any TIG welding since you've graduated from the program. You can come back, you can refresh your skills, come back and sit in on the classes, get in the lab, no cost. So really wonderful services. I do have one last video just from some of the employers who have hired our graduates explaining why they like hiring a Triangle Tech graduate when they are searching for employees.
Forum Energy Technologies is comprised of a lot of welders at our company. 64% of our direct labor force are welders. Of that, 25% are Triangle Tech graduates.
Finding a technical school like Triangle Tech really helps provide them the opportunity to grasp at least the foundation that they need to work with different metals that we work with. And you want to have more of an artistic talent to welding so that you become more of a welder, not a grinder. If we have to grind your work, you're not really a good welder. So I think that at Triangle Tech, it gives them a foundation for us to really build on.
One of the reasons we recruit graduates from Triangle Tech is because we know we're going to get quality individuals that are self-motivated, very confident in their future, and have the tools they need to get started.
Excella Health consists of 3 hospitals, and there are Triangle Tech graduates at all 3 hospitals.
We're struggling to find good qualified manpower that want to show up every day, show up on time, work hard, learn. And so far, the guys we've hired from Triangle Tech, they all fit that and have exceeded our expectations.
An associate's degree from Triangle Tech is important. We have the confidence to know that these candidates are educated, they know the building industry, and they'll fit right in with our team.
I've probably been to Triangle Tech about 5 or 6 times over the years. I think I've interviewed well over 100 students, and the majority of my department are Triangle Tech graduates. And the work that we do here, most of it's hands-on. So, you know, a lot of reading blueprints, drawings, wiring schematics. But at the same time, the majority of the work they're going to do is with their hands as well as their brains. So I think, you know, Triangle Tech provides that education.
We really do appreciate Triangle Tech's efforts to work with employers in the area to make sure we're aware of the candidates coming out of their graduating program and incorporating us in their educational process to make sure that they're meeting the needs of the employers.
We look for that spark, and we've seen a lot of that spark out of Triangle Tech. 25% of our employees have come from there, and we're very proud of that.
So at CMI Energy, there's 7 people in my department, and of those 7 people, 4 of them went to Triangle Tech. Right next to me is the department that does the structural stuff, and 4 of those people went to Triangle Tech. The guy who runs that department went to Triangle Tech. And then if you go the next term and over from that, there's 3 more people that went to Triangle Tech. So of about 100 employees, 20% of them went to Triangle Tech.
Okay, so again, Triangle Tech, you can earn an associate's in specialized technology degree in just 16 months. A couple other ways to get some more information if you'd like to keep in touch. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. YouTube, I think, has some really wonderful videos. So if you would like to watch similar ones to what I played from graduates, from employers, if you'd like to take a closer look at a certain program, really wonderful videos on there to get some additional information. Also, my email address, if you want to reach out to me, if you have any questions, it's triangle-tech.edu. Also, our website is triangle-tech.edu. There's a 1-800 number that you can call for more information. There's a number that you can text. Also, again, that QR code and that link. So with that being said, we have a couple minutes left, but I want to turn it over to see if there's any questions and answers that I can answer for anybody. Give it a couple of minutes. Okay, I'm not sure if anybody has any questions for me. If not, I do want to thank you once again. If you think of anything after the fact, again, feel free to email me directly. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. So with that being said, I am going to turn it over for some final housekeeping notes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ashley. And thank you to the team at Triangle Tech for their session. Thank you all for joining us as well. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, keep in mind, this is just one of many sessions that are being hosted. So be sure to sign up for an additional session at pacac.org/virtual. In about a week, you're going to be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other sessions at pacac.org/virtual. Once again, thank you so much for joining us and have a great evening.